Yeah, I know this is a day late and I apologize, but yesterday ended up being hectic and it just knocked me out, man. So, today you are getting the two final installments of Pokemon Month. You're getting my top 10 favorite Pokemon after this video, and of course you're getting this video, which is my tier list of all the Pokemon games. Except for Scarlet and Violet, because for some reason they are not on this list, so. You guys know how it works by now. We take a look at the games in the big row down here. These aren't in order at all. I'm using a list someone already made. So, this has most of the mainstream ones, and I've played most of these. But these ones right here are the ones I haven't played. I haven't played a lot of the spin-offs. I've played mainly the mainline stuff. So that's why stuff like Pokemon Snap and Dream Radar and Art Academy and all those are in the never played section. Let's go ahead and go over the tiers. We have S tier, the cream of the crop, the top, the best of the franchise. Then we have A tier, the games that are great, just not quite at the top of the top. Then, of course, B for the good games. Then you have average, then you have bad, and then, of course, the Animation Station staple here, you got the Shadow Realm for the absolute worst piles of garbage. So, yeah. That's where Scarlet and Violet would go if it is on this list, but it's not, so, yeah. So we're just going to go through them as best as we can here. And let's start with the original three, which are red, green, and yellow. So let me find them. Start with red. These are definitely significant to the franchise because they were the first games of the series and pretty big hits on the Game Boy. But if you look at them nowadays, they're kind of in the average tier. Like, they're not awful by any means, and I wouldn't mind playing them again. And if you do have these games, then I can definitely see your nostalgia. But you're talking to a guy who didn't really get into the series until, like, Silver and Gold or Black and White, like, later on in the series. So, yeah, I mean, I grew up with the original Johto anime, but I didn't really get into the games until much later. So that's why I don't have that kind of nostalgia, but they're still very respectable games, and they are still pretty good for what they are. It's just that compared to everything in the series, it's pretty average. It's just my opinion, though. You don't have to agree. They aren't bad games. They're just very average compared to everything else. However, it is significant for being one of the only ones in the series that has 3 options instead of just 2, where it is nowadays. Like you have red, blue, and yellow. Whereas nowadays you only have Sword and Shield, or Scarlet and Violet, or Ruby and Sapphire, you know. Only 2 options. This one you had 3, which is interesting. Not to mention, if you're trying to find a mint copy of these online, good luck. They can be pretty pricey. Especially if you try to get a mint one that's still in its shrink wrap. So, yeah. They're all average, but they're all pretty good in my opinion. Alright, from here on out, I'm kind of just going all over the place, so please don't take this too seriously. So, let's start with Gold and Silver. These ones are pretty interesting, not only because they're on the Game Boy Color, but also because they just feel like slightly more refined versions of the first 3. So, for that reason, I'm going to put them in B. They're pretty good. They're pretty good games. I enjoy them. They're nothing amazing, but they're pretty good. Like I said, I don't have nostalgia for the super old stuff because I didn't start playing the Pokemon games until much later on, so yeah. So Gold and Silver, you can go in the good tier, you're pretty good. Alright, what's next? Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong, because there's also Crystal. Okay. Okay, so there's 2 versions in this series that have 3 different versions you can pick from. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. I'm not the best expert at this, but yeah, those are all pretty good. Let's move on. Next up is Ruby and Sapphire. This is where I pretty much started. Like, Ruby and Sapphire, were pretty much my start. It was Ruby and Sapphire and Diamond and Pearl. So, these ones I do have nostalgia for, and these ones I do really, really like. Like, I enjoy these ones. I have a lot of fond memories of these. So, I'm going to put Ruby and Sapphire into the A tier. I have a lot of nostalgia for these. This is pretty much where I got my start. So, these games will always hold a special place in my heart, but if they're different for you, then you know what? That is entirely understandable. So yeah, those will both go there. Alright, moving on. Please ignore the background noise. Someone's taking a shower. Okay, next up is Fire Red and Leaf Green. These are remakes of the first 2 games. And they're pretty bare bones as far as remakes go. Like, you have the updated graphics because this is on the Game Boy Advance. But then at the same time, it's still red and... It's still red. So, average. Wait, is there original green? There doesn't appear to be. Okay, so Leaf Green... Alright, Fire Red's the remake, and Leaf Green's the new one. I think. Like I said, I am not very knowledgeable on Pokemon, so please forgive me if I'm getting facts wrong. But yeah, those ones are average. They're fine. Ah, Emerald. Okay. Which one was with Emerald again? Let me look here. Oh, wait, why is Picross... I haven't played Picross. I don't know why I didn't throw that in that tier. That's my stupid fault. I'm sorry. I cannot see which one of these is supposed to go with Emerald. Tell me in the comments, because I know that Emerald has a second version of some kind. Or is it another case where it's 3? I don't know. I'm just going to throw it an average, because I don't know, nor do I even remember Emerald, so... yeah, that was going in there. I haven't played any of the Mystery Dungeons except for the one that's on Switch. Let's move on to Pokemon Ranger. This one's interesting. It tries to shake up the formula a bit, but it doesn't really have much going for it. I don't think it's a bad game, but it's kind of in the middle here. I'll put it there. It's pretty dead average. And the movie that they made to try to promote it didn't help. And I know that there was some kind of sequel, which is down here somewhere, but I've not played it, so... I've only played the first one. Now we get into Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. This is where we're getting into the real good stuff. I have a lot of nostalgia for these. These are some of the ones that I played the most as a kid. I love Diamond and Pearl. Not really much Platinum. Platinum I don't really have a great memory on, but... I don't like them more than Ruby and Sapphire, but they're still pretty good. But like I said, I don't remember Platinum at all. So, I'm going to throw these 2 in the gray tier, and then I'll throw Platinum into the, I'll throw Platinum into the B tier, because I don't remember it at all. But yeah, Diamond and Pearl are absolutely going in A. Love, love, love those games. Parts of my childhood. And then, like I said, I don't remember Platinum at all. So, well, you know what? I'm just gonna throw it in not even played because I don't remember and I don't know. All right. Okay, we have a couple others. Let's knock some of the spin-offs on this top row out. The TCG Online trading card game. It's okay. It's fine. I mean, It's pretty basic for what you would expect from this kind of thing, but it's not bad. I've played worse. I definitely will play it over Pokemon Ranger because it is free online, and it can be fun to play. It's just another one of those games that's online only, and those usually don't end well. So, yep, that's where I'm gonna stick it. Average, average, and nothing more. Conquest I don't really remember very well, but I remember it being fine. I don't really remember it being that bad, but I don't really remember much of it. So, yeah, throw it in average. Okay, any more spin-offs on the top row? No, I think we're good. Okay. Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Remakes of the original Gold and Silver. They're kind of like Fire Red. It's a remake of older game. But they're pretty good. They're fine. I'll put them here. I'll put them above Pokemon Ranger. So there's Heart Gold. Where's Soul Silver? There we go. Okay, moving on. What's next in here? Black and white. Okay, now we're getting to the really good ones. I don't remember Black and White 2 very well, but I definitely remember the original ones. The original ones were a lot of fun. I really enjoyed these ones growing up, so... yeah, I have nostalgia for Black and White, so I'll put them pretty high. I'm not gonna put them in S tier, I don't think they're that good, but... I'll put them above Diamond and Pearl. Because I definitely remember playing Black and White more. But it's more because I actually owned those ones. Or at least Black, and then my brother owned White, so... yep, we'll throw those into A tier. We haven't really found an S tier game yet. Don't worry, we'll get there. And then, like I said, I don't remember Black and White 2 at all, so we'll throw them in there. Yep, now we get into the S tier. Specifically X. I never really got the chance to play Y, but they're pretty much the same game, just different Pokemon, different regions. Pokemon X was my last Pokemon game. To me, it was like the top tier. It was cream of the crop. It was the best Pokemon game I ever played. It was a great balance of the tried and true formula, along with great graphics and lots of improvements. Seriously, I love and adore Pokemon X. I have so many fun memories for it. And I really hope one day I can get a 3DS just so I can play this game again. I love Pokemon X. I can play that one all day, any day. Just such a fun one. And then as for Y, I'm pretty sure it's the same exact thing, so I'll throw it in the same tier, but I never got to play Y. So, but I know that the Pokemon formula is usually that both games are the same thing, with just a few minor changes. So, I'm willing to bet that Y is just as good as X. So, throw them in there. Up in the S tier, where they belong. That might be controversial, but that's my opinion. That was, in my opinion, the top tier of Pokemon, and from there, it kind of just fell off a bit. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. See, after X and Y, I jumped out, so some of these I'm not really familiar with. I didn't play the Ruby and Sapphire remakes, so I heard about them, but I didn't really play them. Pokken Tournament. Now we're really getting into it. Pokken Tournament is a very interesting one, because it's Pokemon, but it's in the style of Tekken and not, the usual Pokemon games you expect. And it's pretty good. I don't think it's like the most amazing thing ever, but it's very good. It's a lot of fun. Like learning all the different mechanics, seeing how each Pokemon works. Like, it is so much fun. I could play it all day, any day, every day. Moving on. I apologize for the person deciding to blare music right outside my door. So let's go ahead and continue. Moving on, like I said, I haven't played most of these, so Sun and Moon I have not played. Same goes for the remakes. Like after X and Y, I pretty much jumped out of Pokemon entirely. It's not until recently I've started getting back into it. Detective Pikachu. This is another interesting case where it tries to do something new and it mostly succeeds. It does have a few issues on the technical side, but it's more because it's the 3DS. They were limited to what they can do. So, for that reason, I'm going to throw it an average. Okay, moving on. Pokemon Quest. This is a mobile game that got ported to Switch, and I really love this game. I love its blocky art style. I love how it differentiates from the usual Pokemon formula. Like, I love Quest. I play it a lot, all the time. Yes, I'm going to put it up there with X and Y. Not better, but it's pretty good. I really enjoy Quest. One of the only mobile games that isn't total trash, so. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. These ones got so much praise when they came out for being very different from the usual stuff. And yeah, it is another one that shakes up the formula, and it does a pretty good job at it. It's not S tier, but I definitely think these are very good games. Especially the Eevee one. Like, I have been asking for years for Eevee to just get their own game, because it's one of my favorite Pokemon, especially all its numerous evolutions, so. Yeah, I love these two. I love these two. I could play these anytime. Unfortunately, the copies that I played of this game were borrowed from a friend, so I still have yet to have my own copies, but yeah, those go in the good tier. Those are good. What else we got? Sword and Shield. I didn't like these at all. They're not trash, but they're bad. I did not like these at all. I didn't like how, like, it's hard to explain. Just know that Sword and Shield is bad. That's all you need to know. Sword and Shield is bad. They're bad, they're boring, they're monotonous. They're just bad. Okay, moving on. Next up, Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. I really like this one. Like, I really like this one. It's not, like, the most amazing thing ever by any means, but as far as Pokemon games go, it's pretty great. I'll put it there. I didn't play Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl. I just had no interest in those. Okay, since there's no Scarlet and Violet, there's no Shadow Realm games for once, that's nice, but so let's end it with these two. Let's start with Pokemon Unite. This is another mobile game that got ported to Switch. Or was it the other way around? I don't know. And it's interesting, but this game has one huge crutch. Like, one huge crux that goes against it. And that is that it's online. That means there's sweats. That means there's douchehole players that play it too much and make it horrible experience for casuals, and then it's loaded with microtransactions. Like, a lot of things hold this game back. But it can be fun. If you can find a team of friends to play with, and you can find a good game with people that aren't a bunch of sweats that are trying way too hard, you can have a good game. But most of the time, it can be a miserable experience, so that's why it's going there, and personally, I would play the TCG Online game over Unite any day of the week. Now for the one that really shook up the franchise, Legends Arceus. this is the first Pokemon game to try a open world concept that would later get absolutely butchered in Scarlet and Violet, but it did a great job with it. Yes, it still has technical bugs, you still have to deal with some glitches, but if you can get past that, you have a pretty great Pokemon game. Like, I really enjoy Arceus and how much it did to shake up the normal formula. Then again, like I said, this is Game Freak, so you are going to deal with some bugs and glitches, and you're going to run into the technical limitations of the Switch console itself, but put all that aside, and you are in for a pretty great experience. I really enjoy Arceus. I don't want Pokemon to give up on the open world formula just because of how crap Scarlet and Violet turned out. Because if they can do it well, a open world Pokemon game can be amazing. Okay, that's going to do it for this video. That's going to do it for this ranking, and all we have left now is my top 10 favorite Pokemon. So, yep, thank you guys so much for watching. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on all these games down in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys next time for my top 10 favorite Pokemon. Until then, thanks for watching, and take care.